So hello everyone. Today we're going to do a bit of music theory. So we will learn the basic of music theory. So what are the different notes, what they represent, a number we assigned to them, what are simple and compound rhythms, and how to decode these type of bar. So first of all, music sheets are separated in different bars. So this is one bar, and on each bar there are different notes. So this one, this one, this one are singular notes, and you have combinations of notes. This one's a combination of two notes, and this one is a combination of three notes. So each notes, for example, if you're in a string instrument, each note means that you have to play one note of your string, so to create a sound, one sound with one of the strings. Sorry. So let's first see the different notes. So we have the whole note. Let's write it there. The whole note has this kind of circular shape. I'm going to switch. I had another pencil. I don't know where I put it. That's probably oh, it's here. Okay, so we have the this sort of circle shape, which is called a semibreve. So in British language, in Britain, it's called semibreve, and at the US, it's called a whole note. Then we have the half note, or the minim. So the minim is just the semibreve with a bar attached to it. So we have the semibreve and the bar. We have the semibreve and the bar. Each minim can be then separated in two different quarter notes. So we just need to fill in the circle we had. Okay, so these are quarter notes. Each quarter note can be separated into 8 notes or quavers. This is one quaver. This is another quaver. And each quaver can be separated in a semiquaver, which has 2 tails. And each semiquaver can be separated in a demi semiquaver with 3 tails, and then 4 tails, 5 tails, etc. So to each of these notes, we link a number. So for the semibreve, we link number 4. So to this note corresponds the number 4. To the half note corresponds to number 2. To the quaver, to the crotchet, corresponds 1. The quaver is 1/2. The semiquaver is 1/4, and so on and so forth. So we divide by 2 each and every time because one semibreve here is 2 minims. So 2 times 2 equals 4. And we have 1, we have 2, we have 3, we have 4. 4 quarter notes equals 1 whole note, 1 semibreve. And 2, so this is crotchet. Sorry, I'm it's mistaking US and British notes. So I'm going to try to stick with British from now on. So this is crotchet. 2 crotchets equals 1 minim. and so on and so forth. So these are the different notes we can find in a music sheet. Next, we do have, so when we read a sheet like this, oops, we have two numbers at the start, which are represented like this. We have the number at the top and the number at the bottom. So let's take this 12, 8 as an example. And what does the 12 represent? 12 represents the number of beats in a bar. So this thing is a bar, and just the number on top is the number of beats. Number of beats in a bar. The number at the bottom, so here 8, represents the value of these beats. Value of the bits. Okay, we are going to see what does these things mean in an exercise a bit later. So next thing you need to know is that there exists binary and compound bars. So what does a binary bar mean? In a binary bar, you will see notes, combination of notes that, combination of notes that are like this. So combination of notes that go by 2. This is binary. So it's a binary bars will have notes that look like this. Then we have compounds that will have associations of 3 of these. This is compound. Right. Okay, let's now review some example. So for example, if this here is a 6, an 8, a 9, or a 12, it means our bar is compound. So we have these kind of notes. On the other hand, if we have 2, 3, 4, 16 or 32, it means that our bar is binary. So we will have these kind of notes. So these are the 2 rules, and with all of these, you will be able to know if you will be able to do these exercises right there. But so to the rule of compound and binary, there's some irregulars. For example, how am I taking this? For example, if we have that, like this, with a 2 on top, this is equivalent to 3 quavers. So this thing with a 2 on top is equivalent to this. In the same way, if we have 3 quavers, like that, with 3 on top, this is equivalent to only 2 quavers. Like that. So we will need to be careful with these irregulars. So let's continue with a few examples. So I'll keep this sheet right there, so we can have it under eyes. And we will start with this first example right there. So the first thing to do when you have an exercise of this type is to try to guess if we are in a compound bar or a binary bar. So here we have nodes that are associated by 2, here by 3, and here by 1. So we don't care about the nodes that are alone for to know if it's compound or binary. We just care about this, this, and this. So here is one irregular. So we don't really care if the nodes are down or up. So this is equivalent to this. So it's an irregular, which is so it's equivalent to 2 nodes. So we have 2, 2, 2, and 1, which means we are in a binary bar. And in a binary bar, there can be 2, 3, 4, 16, or 32 as bottom number. So here there's an 8. I'm going to write in red. This has an 8. It is not possible because 8 is compound. So here we have the 5, 4. And here we have a C. What does C mean? C means common, because it is one of the most common configuration we'll encounter. So it's a 4, 4 configuration. Now, how do we differentiate between 5, 4 and 4, 4? So we will have to, so the upper number is related to the number that are linked to the nodes. So here 2, 1, 1/2, 1/4, etc. So we will need to count how many nodes there are, and we will find out the number. So let's count the nodes. Here we have 1 node here that corresponds to a quaver. We have a quaver here. Here we have 1 node with 3 tails. So this is a demi-semi-quaver. 1, 2, 3. We didn't write it here, but it's just there. So this is 1/2. It's a quaver, and this is demi-semi-quaver. It's 1/8. Okay, and then we have these 2 dots. What does it mean? It means that to the node that is just in front, we have to add 1 tail, and then to this node we have to add another tail, which means, so we had our quaver, the 1 tail, and then 1 dot means we add 1 tail, and another dot means we recreate the exact same node we just had, so this one, and we add another tail. Right? And if we had a third dot, we will need to write another one of these with 4 tails. So this is the demi-quaver. It is 1/4. This is a demi-semi-quaver. It is 1/8. All right. So here we have 1/8 plus 1/8 is 1/4. 1/4 plus 1/4 is 1/2. 1/2 plus 1/2 is 1. Oops. So all of this is equal to 1. Here we have this sign here, which are 2 demi-semi-quaver that are linked together. So we have 2 demi-semi-quaver like this that are linked together. So this is 1/8. This is 1/8. So when we add the 2, it is 1/4. Here we have the irregular one. So it's just 2 quavers. So 1 quaver and 2 quaver. So this one is 1/2. This one is 1/2. We add them up and it's 1. And here we have a crotchet. So crotchet is already 1. So we have 1. And here we have this weird Y sign. It's supposed to look like this. We have this weird Y sign, which is Okay, so sorry, my camera got cut off. But this is 1/2. And then right there we have the small dot again. So the small dot says that we need to add 1/4. It's the exact same as what we did here. It's the same as if we add a tail. And so the total makes 3/4. So we have 1, 2, 3, 1/4 plus 3/4 makes 1. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, which means that the correct answer is the 4/4, because here there's a 5, so it cannot be this one. So the correct answer is C. So now let's move on to the next one. So here we have 3 notes that are linked together. Here we have 2 notes. So we don't know yet if it's compound or binary, but we can see that this one has a small 2, which makes it one of the irregulars we saw. So it's this one. And we need to consider it as a 3 nodes group. So here we have 3 nodes, 1, 1, 1. So the whole bar is thus a compound one this time. So a compound on the bottom part, it can be a 6, an 8, 9, or 12. Here we have an 8, it's fine. Here we have a 4. So 4 is not possible because this is binary. So we cross it out. And here we have a small c. So the small c, so it's common but with a half in the middle. So it's half the common, which is 8, 8. And here it's compound again. So it's fine. So now we have 2 different and possible answers. So we need to calculate the value of all of these nodes to try to know if it's 12 or 8. Something I forgot to tell you is that when we have a compound bar, we will count the quavers. So we will count these ones, which means that if there's a 12 here, it will be 12 quavers. And in binary, we count crotchets, like this. So that's why here we counted crotchets. So we have 1 crotchet. Well, actually, no, that's true. So we counted the quavers in compound and crotchets in binary. Be careful of these because you can make a lot of mistakes with that. So let's start with this whole sign there. So on this sign there's 1 quaver. This part there's 1 dot, so it's a semiquaver, like this. Here we have 1 other semiquaver, and here we have 1 final quaver. So we have so these 2 make 1 quaver, so we have 3 quavers. 3 quavers. So let's go up to this sign. This sign we need to be very careful. It is irregular. So it's equivalent to three quavers that are linked together. So we have 3 quavers again. All right, here there's this sign, which is a crotchet. A crotchet is equal, its value is equal to 2 quavers. So we have 2 quavers. Oops. Here we have just one quiver. It's just upside down. And here we have one crochet again. So it is 2 quavers. And we have a small dot. And the small dot says we need to add a tail to this crochet, which makes 1 more quiver. So here we have 3 quavers. Right, and here we're good. So we have 3, 6, 8, 9, 12. So we have 12 quavers. Thus, the right answer is this one. Right, and here we're done with the exercises. I hope you understood everything. If you ever need this sheet or this sheet of paper, I can scan them out and send it to you. So don't hesitate to ask me for the 2 sheets of paper. Okay, if you have any more questions, I can do other videos to explain them. And have great revisions and good luck. See you.